So in today's tutorial we are going to look at how to connect a sensor to an Arduino. I know you've been eager to get to this point, but let's get started. So the first sensor we're going to be looking at is DHT22 temperature and humidity sensor. Okay, so this measures temperature and humidity, and it can be connected to an Arduino, and you can visualize the readings and all that stuff, right? So without further ado, let's just get into it. Specs of the DHT22 temperature sensor. Okay, so based on the site we've shared, I've already double checked with the datasheet. So it has a resolution of 0.1 degrees Celsius, accuracy of 0.5 degrees Celsius, and a measuring range of -40 degrees Celsius, approximately up to 80 degrees Celsius. So it depends, it depends. So, and then the humidity as well is 0.1% relative humidity, accuracy is ±2%, and a measuring range of 0% to 100% relative humidity. So it's approximately there. Okay. All right. So the operating voltage is 3.3 volts to 5.5 volts. Recommended storage location is this. Okay. Let's just jump into it. So Walkway has a temperature sensor. All right. Just double click it and you drag it. I'll do the connections. So the sensor has 4 pins, as you can see here, but the good thing about Walkway is all the pins are labeled, so when you just hover on top of it, you'll know what exactly that pin is. So this is called VCC, this is SDA, this is NC, and this is GND. So what VCC stands for is the positive terminal, okay, where you connect the positive terminal of the sensor. So when you click it, you just move your mouse like that. You don't need to drag anything. And 5 volts. So according to the specs, it ranges between 3.3 voltage and 5 volts. So I'm just gonna use 5 volts. And then SDA is the signal line. All right. So I'm gonna put it on pin 7. You can put it on any of these pins. These are digital pins, as you remember from the tutorial that we went through. So, and then these are analog pins. So this is a digital sensor. So we're going to connect it on pin 7. And then this is NC. You don't need to connect anything to it. And then ground, which is like the minus terminal. All right. Okay. So this is the connection: VCC, SDL, and ground. That's it. Alright guys, let's get to it. So the first thing we're gonna do is import the library. So to do that, we do --include. I like Walkway because it's got this autocomplete feature which makes things a little bit easier. So this is the DHT library. So in Arduino, if you don't have it, you can easily get it. Actually, just go and install it through the install libraries in the tools menu. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to define the pin, the SDA pin. So you see, so let's call this DHT pin, and the number of the pin is pin 7. All right, and the DHT type, because there are 2 different types of DHTs. We have DHT22 and DHT11. So right now we're using DHT22. All right, and then now after that, we're going to define the object. So it's an object and we instantiate it. Let's just call it DHT object. So the object means we're going to access all the functions inside the library. So I think it's kind of like an object-oriented programming language. So yeah. Okay. So after that, we're going to define our variables, which will store the temperature and humidity values. So we have float. It's a float because the values are coming in as decimals. Humidity, I'm going to call this like that, float temp. Okay, all right. So on the setup where we initialize everything, of course we need to see the values, so we'll initialize the serial communication, and then we'll initialize the object itself. So this starts the sensor, okay, and then whatever is being read, there's a functions called read humidity inside the library itself, but to access it we have to call the function, okay, read humidity, and then whatever is coming from the function, because it's being thrown out, will be stored in our humidity variable, like that. Let's do the next one is for temperature, DHT dot read temperature. Okay, then after that we need to print the values out. So these are the variables holding the temperature and humidity values that are coming off from the sensor. So to do that, let's print it out. According to my last tutorial, the previous one, you've seen how I do using the serial.print. So I'm gonna call this temperature serial.print the value itself. All right, so this is going to have print line. If you get a little bit confused or need a little bit of insight on what I'm doing here, go and watch my serial.print tutorial. You'll see how all this comes together. So I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna copy paste humidity, and then in this is the value that you're going to print out. Right, so and then if you remember, because the values are going to come out too fast, so we need to delay some things because we humans are a bit slow. Okay, moment of truth, guys. So let's see. So with WalkView, just hit the start simulation button. I got a bunch of errors. Oh yeah. Okay, let me correct them, and then DHT, yeah, I named it DHT object, so I forgot. So this object will be used to access the function. So let's try that again. Yeah, same. So right now it's simulating 24 degrees Celsius and humidity of 40%. So basically that's how you connect a DHT22 sensor. So if it were in an Arduino setting, so it would be measuring the temperature around you. Once you connect everything correctly, and then you power it up through the serial monitor, you'll be able to see how the values are. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be seeing you in the next tutorial. Bye.